Ah, Disney. The monopoly on everything, even your childhood. It was self-destructing with the 9th Star Wars episode and the live-action Mulan, but this thing is too big to fail. We can throw some ice cubes at this tank to feel involved when the iceberg happens. Let's reimagine one of their stories since they love doing that. I choose Tangled, the princess story that mocks and belittles its princess more than Disney parodies. So to begin, our Rapunzel is alone in her tower. It's not beautifully lit and colorful because being locked away for 18 years isn't pretty. She doesn't have a Barbie house-set tower that comes with functioning oven and other fancy decorum. She doesn't have a marketable pet to talk to, but she mutters to herself. We aren't lavishing her with furniture, pets, or a gift from the heavens to make her superficially interesting. And we aren't letting her love interest, Flynn, take the entire beginning of the movie from her. No, really, it begins with Flynn's narration over his wanted picture and saying, "This is the story of how I died. This is Rapunzel's story, and we want to see what she's doing." She cleans with meticulous detail. Mother barely gives her anything, especially learning materials that could give her certain ideas, so there's nothing else to do. But then Mother comes home. She chastises Rapunzel for slinking around all creepy. Our Rapunzel is unnerving. Disney wants big doll eyes? We'll give a massive bug eyes I can practically see in the dark. Slim waist? Wop waist now since all she eats is whatever Mother could bring. Sings not soprano, but falsetto. Hair goes from golden blonde to white, and is honest to a fault. Some of these are the product of 18 years of isolation. Some are me taking idealized girl traits to their logical extreme. And Rapunzel isn't interested in leaving since it seems as possible as touching a cloud. Mother leaves as she must. It worries Rapunzel, though. Mother was even 76 minutes late getting home. Mother tells her she was late from dealing with the, monster, yeah, that. So don't go outside, or your frail little body will be a toothpick for it, unlike Mother, who could handle it. Mother knows best could play now. Speaking of which, how does the song relate to Rapunzel's upcoming journey? Is the outside in reality pretty chill and her mother was scaring over harmless things to control her? Or is it genuinely dangerous, yet Rapunzel can handle it, showing how her mother instilled self-doubt that was holding her back? The movie wants both, which ends up being the worst of each. Because everything she faces isn't that big of a deal. The outside world she's never encountered before is just some pretty nature and is never seen as a legitimate threat. The heavily armed thugs? Oh, they're just big sweethearts. The guards are just there for some quick action that Rapunzel handles without a sweat. Nothing's ever too much. I guess it's because Gothel was the real problem, but her influence is too minimal to be felt. Whoops. Back to our Rapunzel and whoa, Mom is super late coming home the next day. Rapunzel sets out to find her, climbing down the tower to save herself. And there she is, the first time on the outside, and totally alone. It's frightening. Mother told her to be afraid, so she shall. She needs her mother as she's nothing without her. That's what Mother told her. So she must try to save her. She vaguely knows the path Mother uses for traveling to the tower from the capital. Her hair doesn't help. It's dragged through the mud and sticks, which results in it getting tangled, and she loses strands of it. Her hair isn't magic, but still upsetting as she's never gotten it cut before, so she carries what she's lost. After a few scares, her anxiety quiets down. Maybe she can handle this. She's even learned to run without falling. She gets tired, but no worry, there's people. Mother only taught her to fear scary things, so they should be nice. Turns out they're a traveling circus, and they want to put her on display by tricking her into staying. Rapunzel has people manipulating her for their own gain the entire movie, and that should be central to her growth. This feeling of being new should come up more, but it doesn't because she only realizes that's even a possibility at the end. So I'm bringing it now. And she figures out that they won't let her rescue her mom, thus she stages an escape by letting everything out of their cages. While doing this, she meets a certain someone, not Flynn, Bastian from the concept art, bigger and better than ever. So big that he's on display. Instead of a dashing thief, we got a circus freak. He's also socially inexperienced from being locked up. Thus our leads are proper foils. Now Rapunzel, who after just discovering those who don't have her well-being in mind, realizes that she's let out a lot of scary things that might want to actually harm her. She runs away but can't find the path, and what if the circus is after her, or the monster is out there, or what if one of those things Mother warned her about attacks her? Oh, why didn't she listen? Mother was right about how incompetent she is. There are other travelers, but how can she trust them if she doesn't trust her own judgment? Bastian bumps into her, and before she runs, he returns some hair that she dropped. It's creepy, but it's a part of her that was lost, so they team up. With someone new to bounce off of, she starts discovering herself the same time the audience does. She's energetic, talkative, and witty. There is one trait from the original Rapunzel that I want to use but wouldn't fit this version. She can convince people to go against their interests. It's a technique Gothel unintentionally taught her, and it's more devious than most maidens are allowed. There's one thing Bastian points out about Rapunzel. She has pointed ears. A recurring idea in Tangled is that things aren't what they seem. Mom said the outside world was dangerous, but turns out you can survive. The thief isn't named Flynn, but Eugene, and didn't betray you. And your mom isn't your mom because you're a lost princess. I've already voiced my thoughts on princesses. I know she's expected to be one because this is a fairy tale, but what if she was a fairy? Plus that means the magic was in her and not the hair all along. She's specifically a changeling, the baby swap kind, not the shape-shifting kind, which is how Mother got her. Bastian knows rumors about fairies from the circus. No one ever talked to him, just around him. He never liked talking, but he never liked being a caged beast either. Rapunzel asked more about fairies, but he doesn't know much. He's heard that their wings and other body parts are sold for spell casting. Good thing when they find Mother, they can all live happily in the tower without thinking too hard about how familiar that sounds. Haha. They eventually make it to the capital. It's so overstimulating that Rapunzel has to cover her ears, which also hides their points. She still likes it for the people. Seeing open communication is so new and interesting. The duo spend most of the day near the edge of town, and they're hungry because they don't have money. Bastian gives her a knife to potentially hunt. He trusts her to be competent with it. He also brings up how they could sell her hair for food. She declines. But when she wakes up the next day, Bastian and the hair she was carrying are gone. Does she dare look for him in the capital? No. And she doesn't need to as she finds her mother. Mother noticed warlocks in the city selling white locks and knew Rapunzel must be around. As they head home, Rapunzel sees what happens when Mother hasn't used the hair in a few days. She asks her if that's what Mother truly looks like, but gets a passive-aggressive response for being rude. Wow, that was uncalled for. And now that Rapunzel has met people, she can realize that was uncalled for. They return to the tower, and Mother keeps berating her for being so foolish to put her in her place, which makes Rapunzel think about things. So let's also think about things. We're at the climax of the story, the cultivation of how our protagonist's journey has affected them. Wait, who's our protagonist again? Eugene starts out a thief but ends up sacrificing his life for her safety, which is rewarded with love and not actually dying. He's the one with a character arc where he learns to care about another person instead of cash. Where's Rapunzel's arc? She starts out naive and trusting until she... oh dear. Well, she starts out the daughter of a nobody but then becomes the daughter of monarchs. Is that a personality? There's also the mom said I can't leave because I'm too gullible and would get hurt, but then I left and faced no major negative consequences. But that's not personal growth. That's just denying your lead the chance to make a change. Because Disney just wants Eugene to be the protagonist. When Rapunzel accuses Eugene of wanting to steal her hair and heals his hand, we're as taken aback as he is because we haven't seen that from her before. Undue aging, yes, but there's a lot of things in her hair that we aren't allowed to know. We can't even be privy to her reasons for staying in the tower, because apparently it wasn't out of obedience or survival, since she says it's to protect her hair. She knows its worth. Does she know that other people could benefit from it? Does she even know Gothel is using her? Well, our Rapunzel does, and she's had enough. She may not know her origin, whether it's in the tower or a palace. That isn't important. Her agency is. With this realization of her value, wings burst from her back. So she runs to the window and flies. Before she can go, Mother grabs the longest bundle of hair. But Rapunzel has the knife from Bastian, the freely shared kindness from the outside, to cut herself free. Mother tries to keep her once more, telling her how it's no better outside. They're all liars, just like that guy who sold her hair. This stops her, but the last strands break as she nearly falls. She hovers for a moment before flying away, without looking back. Mother is left in the tower. Her ultimate fate is unknown, and Rapunzel no longer has to care. So the hair-cutting scene is different here than in the original. What does Rapunzel's hair symbolize in the original anyway? According to Disney, her hair is a metaphor for her potential. Yeah, sure, she lives in a tower which gives her a lot of potential energy from the height. I know physics, but it's weird how for Gothel her hair is her value and leash. For Eugene it's an abnormality, and for Rapunzel it's just a glow-in-the-dark lasso. I feel like all these views conflict in a way that's neither resolved nor interesting, so I leaned into how her hair holds her back and prevents her from joining the world, which is why she has to sever her hair to break her mother's control over her. I also gave her wings to symbolize freedom, and so she no longer has to walk around barefoot. She flies back to the capital to find Bastian locked up once more, this time in a jail cell. When asking the very surprised guards why he's in there, they tell her the criminal was selling magical contraband. Fairy hair. He sold it for food and a woman's hat that covers the ears. He went behind her back for her sake, betraying her trust like Mother would. But she knows how harmful it is to be caged, so she demands he be allowed to rejoin society. And the guards may be suppressive tools of the state, but they obey because scary fairy. When Bastian reaches out to her in gratitude, she shies away from him. She doesn't want to be with him right now. Maybe not ever. Because I'm not upset that princesses marry men they knew in less than a day. Disney. I'm upset that the audience can't see the infatuation developed between them during the movie become a commitment strong enough for marriage. Our Rapunzel is still hurt over what he did, and the capital is very loud, thus she leaves him to live there as a free man while she finds another place with other people. Maybe she wasn't meant for the human world. A fairy's inability to lie puts her at odds with humans that can and will. But after being denied where she's found herself, she wants to be a part of it now, to see all that it has to offer. She trusts that she can handle it. This is where we leave this tale. The rest is up to her. For me, I'm using this as a backstory for a Dungeons & Dragons character. Tabletop role-playing games, like all art, are cumulative. This video was inspired by Dr. Wig's videos and Bonkalore's Tangled 2 art, so check them out, especially Wig's take on how Disney is Gothel. Or use your money to protect vulnerable groups. Happy holidays. Bye.